Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of CODELL Crypto. Like always, I got a great episode today. Hey, today you guys, we are going to be talking about pushback against CBDCs. If you don't know what CBDCs are, they are central bank digital currencies. And we're also going to be discussing how crypto and blockchain and DeFi in general is blowing up the traditional financial system. So, AKA central bankers, the biggest gangsters of them all. So, anyways, I'm excited to share this information with y'all. I got two great articles. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So first off, I'm going to start off with ProCoin News. All right. Next article will be from them as well. All right. And we are going to be talking about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and how he has called for a ban of all CBDCs. Again, CBDCs are central bank digital currencies, and I absolutely love this. All right, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. The governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, has just announced that he'd be supporting all legislation that would potentially ban the creation of central bank digital currency. CBDCs have been a trending topic within the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry, as many industry experts predict that central banks will likely use CBDCs in order to take advantage of blockchain technology. However, many see it as a centralized version of crypto where it can be controlled by central banks despite the use of blockchain, which is 100% true, because their version of blockchain, it will not be open and transparent, and basically it will be private, just like the system they have now. The money system we're on now is private. We don't have access to the inner workings of it. They want the same they want that same setup, but they want it all digitized, no physical cash. So pretty dystopian. Anyways, this happens to be one of the main reasons that DeSantis is supporting the ban, as he believes that there should be financial innovation without the people losing control or anonymity and personal finance. It is not the first time that there has been criticism against CBDCs from a U.S. state, and it remains to be seen if there will be more states that oppose as well. Now, there have been a lot of people within government and several states pushing back against central bank digital currencies. So, we got together, and this is what they tweeted out, all right? Ron DeSantis wants laws to expressly forbid use of central bank digital currencies in Florida, calls on other U.S. states to do the same. Cash is king. The minute it's all digitized, somebody else is going to have control over your life. Hashtag CBDC. All right, let's listen to what Mr. Ron has to say.
Ultimately, cash is king. I mean, if you can hold it in your hand, you have power over that. The minute it's all digitized, somebody else is going to have control over that. And it's just a question of, are they going to let you live your life? Or are they going to decide to do things to circumvent what you want to do? And think about what we've already seen in Canada. You remember when the truckers were protesting the vax mandates, they had banks. Some of the government seized froze some of their banks. You had charities that were trying to help these guys, and that was frozen. So we've already seen government really overstep its bounds, as it is in the banking situation and financial sector that we have now. Can you imagine if we went to something like a central bank digital currency? So I'm glad that we're at the tip of the spear on this. I think it's really important that states stand up to fight back against some of the things that are going on, well, most of the things that are going on right now in Washington, because they don't have your best interests at heart. They have their own power at heart. They have their own agenda that they're looking to advance. And so I think this will be great legislation. I look forward. We're already talking to the leaders in the legislature. I think this is something that is going to happen. And I look forward to being able to sign it into law later this year. Okay.
So yeah, guys, a little quick snippet of what he had to say at this conference. And I thought he made a great point when he brought up the truckers in Canada. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the truckers were protesting all the COVID lockdowns, all that stuff. And he was just talking about how Trudeau told the banks, I don't know if you remember this, to shut down the truckers' accounts. So what the truckers do? They went around the banks and they started using Bitcoin. They started taking Bitcoin donations. And so that made me like think about this right here, you know. Right here it says Big Brother's digital dollar. And that's exactly what central bank digital currencies are. Again, the difference between a central bank digital currency and something like Bitcoin, you know, for example, is a central bank digital currency is completely centralized and controlled by a small group of people, the Federal Reserve, you know? And as we all know, I mean, let's keep it real. The Federal Reserve, they're trash. I mean, the 2008 housing crisis, I mean, we've all seen, you know, how inflation has gone through the roof the last couple of years. I mean, they've been running our financial system since 1911, okay? The Great Depression, on and on and on. And that's because, again, let's be real, all right? Humans, we are extremely susceptible to corruption. We're flawed. And I'm saying that even though I think we're incredible and we also do a lot of amazing, beautiful things, but we're also very susceptible to corruption. And so it's extremely important, you guys, that we don't allow them to push central bank digital currencies on us. We cannot adopt them, okay? We must say no. Instead, we have to adopt DeFi, which is decentralized finance, all right? Because through that, I can send money to you directly. You can send money to me directly. We don't have to go through a middleman like through our traditional banking system, which means we don't have to pay all these fees. And again, I said this earlier in the video, on a decentralized, transparent blockchain like Bitcoin, like XRP, like Cardano, like these other systems, it is completely transparent, it is open source, and it is immutable. Meaning once something is put on the blockchain, you cannot go in and switch it up. It is permanently there. That record is there. So you know what happened. And that is extremely important. That basically, I won't say it completely stops corruption, but man, it'll dang near stop it. Anyways, I gotta stop preaching. All right, here we go. So let's finish this up. Is there anything left in this article I want to read? Yes. Here we go. Now, whether or not DeSantis' call to ban CBDCs will be effective or not is still unknown, as there has been no official information regarding the creation of CBDCs in the U.S. as of yet. And so far, all current available information shows that there may be small-scale pilot tests that are in progress in order to test the effectiveness of the idea. However, the Federal Reserve has pointed out in the past that such a change would require approval of Congress in order to implement. The chances of this passing Congress right now are pretty slim, as there is still a lot of division regarding the idea, despite it gaining traction in many regions around the world already. But I would argue that there is more traction being gained around the world against CBDCs, all right? I mean, look at what's going on in El Salvador, throughout Africa. In fact, the next article will highlight what's going on in Africa, okay? Anyways, Cointelegraph, this is what they had to finish up saying. You're opening up a major can of worms and you're handing a central bank huge amounts of power. Other conservative lawmakers in the U.S. have voiced similar concerns as DeSantis in trying to tamp down efforts by the Fed to release a CBDC. And in February, Minnesota Representative Tom Emmer introduced the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act, claiming the bill would protect Americans' rights to financial privacy by limiting the Fed's authority over a digital dollar. The city of Miami, in addition to hosting the Bitcoin conference, is home to many crypto and blockchain proponents, including Morgan Creek Digital co-founder Anthony Pompliano and Mayor Francis Soraz, who accepted some of his paychecks in Bitcoin. DeSantis said he aimed to have the CBD legislation on his desk for approval sometime in 2023. So, yeah, 1x Trading tweeted out this picture of Ron DeSantis. He also said no CBDC in Florida, says Florida Governor DeSantis has voiced his support for a ban on central bank digital currency, CBDCs, within the state, arguing that they are tools of financial surveillance. So I really don't like this picture. I think it makes him look like a crusty old man. I'm just saying. But anyways, I totally agree though with the tweet, man. I mean, that's what it is. And I'm going to leave a link to the Federal Reserve's white paper on CBDCs, and I really want you guys to read it. I'll have some spots highlighted in that file that I leave a link to, just because in their own white paper, you guys, the Feds say in their own white paper on CBDCs that they want to be able to control how much of it you're allowed to have, how much of it you're allowed to save, and what you can and cannot spend your central bank digital currency on. And they want to completely get rid of physical cash. So basically, man, you think our banking system, our financial system is corrupt now? If we, the people, let the central bank digital currency system, like if we allow that to be we allow it to be implemented, we will enter into, I mean, I don't want to sound dramatic, y'all, but I mean, honestly, it's a system that we'll probably be stuck in for hundreds of years, if not like longer. So it's going to be a system of financial slavery and other slavery that will just, it's going to be hard to get out of. So anyways, you guys, let's keep it moving, all right? Let's keep it moving. All right, here we go. This is the last article I got. And this is more great news for DeFi, for crypto, for Bitcoin, all right? Bitcoin might blow up Africa's $86 billion banking system. And that's more bad news for who? The central bankers. All right, here we go. Many within the African continent may be aware the current banking system in Africa is expensive and is extremely inconvenient for most people. All right, because there are a lot of remote and rural areas, which means that digital banking options are extremely limited. And due to this, much of the continent has been excluded from the existing traditional banking system. And the majority of the financial services are out of reach for the average person. Now, what makes crypto and Bitcoin especially good for Africa is that it is available for everyone, and it is a way to do transactions in real time without any need for institutions, all right? That's why I love crypto, man. It also helps bypass all the other problems that Africa is facing, such as corruption, hyperinflation, and bank restrictions that all limit the financial freedom of the people. Now, the billionaire Club.eth tweeted out, documenting BTC, hashtag Bitcoin can serve as a tangible social good, offering an on-ramp to the financial system for people who would otherwise be left out. In countries where the vast majority of the population is unbanked, hashtag Bitcoin can be a vital lifeline for. So, yeah, I mean, this is dope, you know. And the article goes on to say, basically, anyone with access to the internet can set up a crypto wallet and can settle Bitcoin payments. This also is something that the government can't do anything about due to the decentralized nature of digital assets and how it is not controlled by a single authority, all right? Investors and speculators believe that Africa will likely play a huge part in crypto adoption and expansion in the future due to its match and use cases that the people need, all right? Less than 30% of Africa, this was Stacey Adams S. Tracy stated out, less than 30% of Africa has access to hashtag banking, hashtag crypto, whether hashtag Bitcoin or hashtag stablecoin, is a necessity as digital hashtag money platforms are regional. Hashtag cryptocurrency is viewed as competition in the West, and fiat off-ramps are being closed. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff happening. And then we got Christine Duham. She tweeted out, Central African states are kicking France out of their currency system and getting rid of their colonial money. Then Christopher responded with they'd already adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. So yeah, there's a lot of major moves being made throughout Africa, and this makes a lot of sense. Besides what they pointed out, another thing I want to point out that you guys might not be aware of is 12 of the world's, I think it's 12 of the world's, or it's 7 of the 12 world's fastest growing, 7 of the world's 12 fastest growing economies are on the continent of Africa. And Africa right now has a huge advantage against the world when it comes to youth population. They have the youngest population in the world per capita, and they have a large population. So, which means they have a very energetic population, you know. Youth is energy. And young people, you know, tend to be more open to adoption a lot of times. So, yeah, a lot of big things happening in Africa, on the continent of Africa, and a lot of great positive things happening in the world of cryptocurrency in general. And I love this, you guys. Let's keep pushing back against the banks. Let's get off this central bank digital, or this central banking system. We don't need it. So anyways, you guys, that's what I got for y'all today. I hope I was able to provide some useful information. If y'all like what I'm doing, y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all smash that like button, hit that notification bell, share this video with all your friends, share it on your social media, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Rumble, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Truth Social. And like I always say, just in case y'all don't remember this: God loves you. Alright guys, I'm CODELL. Thank y'all so much for watching CODELL Crypto, and until next episode, I'm out. Stay safe. Peace.